Alright guys, back with another video. So, I just want to say before we get started, I had a great workout today. I did biceps and triceps today. Today was biceps and triceps on the tonal. As you guys know, eccentric mode all the way. Love that mode, absolutely fantastic. Now, I did do Tony Horton's action arms today. I'm going to get into what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and I'm going to explain to you what I think maybe could have been done better, and also give you a little insight just on my own personal thoughts about what might help you guys, whether you get this machine or even not. But mostly if you get this machine, it's not necessarily for other gym equipment, okay? So, before I do that, I just want to say, you guys put up with a lot when it comes to my videos. You guys put up with my washing machine going on in the background. You guys put up with the fact that my wife walks around stomping her feet. She's coughing all the time. You guys put up with the fact that I got messy hair in every single video. Guys, thank you for putting up with that. The only reason why I can imagine that you guys put up with that is because I'm giving you valuable information, because more than likely, you guys would just switch the video if I wasn't giving you this valuable information, which is why I'm going to be telling you what I'm telling you today, okay? Now, I did action arms with Tony Horton. Tony Horton, for those of you who are not aware, he made P90X. Now, I loved P90X. I thought it was cool. There was some things I didn't like about it. I thought it was a little too fast-paced at some points. I also thought that it created a, how would you put it? It was easy to burn out on P90X. And I don't mean burn out your muscles necessarily. I mean burn out, fatigue your entire body to the point where your overall being is just destroyed. That was some of the things years ago when I worked out on P90X that I found to be the case. But I was very excited to see Tony on here now. The guy looks great for his age. I think he's close to 62, 63, something along those lines. The guy looks fantastic. You still see the veins popping. His energy, guys, his energy is through the roof. Super likable guy. Love the way he talks. Absolutely fantastic. And a great coach. Great trainer. I love it. I love the fact that he was in this. And to see him at that age, busting out reps, absolutely fantastic. So that's something that I truly loved. Something that I didn't necessarily love, and you know, you guys don't hear me say that a lot when it comes to tonal, but something that I didn't necessarily love, I actually have a list. I got my trusty paper here. Okay, so it was a nice change from my normal routine, but I gotta be honest, I very quickly got tired of the program. The reason why I got tired of the program quickly, and this might go for a majority of the programs on tonal, but take this with a grain of salt coming from me. I'm my own person. I have my own way of working out. I don't need programs, okay? Now, it was a great change from my normal routine, and I do think it was a good program. I think that if you get this machine and you jump onto action arms because you want to get a good burn, I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get a good burn. Your heart rate's going to go up. I think the movements were relatively fluid. You didn't have to change things up with the machine too much. So that was fantastic. Again, Tony has a lot of energy, and you can see that he's sore from probably a previous workout that he was recording with Tonal, which was pretty cool. You know, this guy busts out reps. He's dedicated to his craft, and he knows what he's talking about, and I love it. So, something that I did not necessarily love was the fact that it's called action arms, right? Now, I might be nitpicking. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. It's called action arms. In my opinion, this was more of a full upper body, right? Now, when I want to work out my arms, I dedicate a separate day to my arms because I want to get the most out of that workout. If I want to work out core, if I want to work out lats, something like that, or chest, I'm going to dedicate, this is just me, I'm going to dedicate a separate day to doing that. Now, I found that the movements that Tony was doing, they were more of like a full body. So like, for example, you're doing your tricep, you're doing, instead of a tricep extension, which will kind of isolate just your triceps for the most part, right? You get a good isolated movement. It was more of a compound movement. So it was the, what's it called? The tricep chop, right? Something along those lines, the chop, where you grab the rope from up here and you bring it down to here. That's cool, but you're also engaging your core a lot more. You're also engaging a little bit of the lat. You're engaging other muscles. And this it was more of a compound movement, in my opinion. And this was seen throughout the program, where it's supposed to be arms. It's called action arms. You want to get a good burn in your arms. And I wasn't getting a good burn in my arms. Now, this wasn't only because of the program. I don't really know what happened, but for some reason, the weight today on Tonal just wasn't, I don't know if it was programmed into the program to give me lighter weight and less reps. I know the reps are programmed in, but the weight was super light, and I don't want to have to, you can adjust the weight on this, but I don't want to have to adjust it. I really don't. I want the machine to read my muscles like it normally does, and it gives me a great fix on the weight that I need to do. That's one of the reasons I got this machine. One of the perks was you get the machine to read your muscles and give you what it thinks is good, and it has a great way of doing that. For some reason, in this program, it was not doing that. I got super low weight compared to what I could have did. I got super low reps, which I didn't necessarily like the fact that there were super low reps. And I ended up going like way more up on the reps because of the low weight, just to make up for the fact that I didn't have any type of a burn. There was no hypertrophy. So you're getting more of a full upper body workout, which, if it's a compound movement, if you're doing a compound movement, you're taking away from an isolated movement that is going to benefit the muscle that you're looking to work better. Does that make sense? So I wasn't focusing on biceps and triceps today only. I was focusing on everything. Everything on the top portion of my body was getting a little bit. My body was getting a little bit of everything. I didn't want that. So, is this a bad program? No, it might be great for you. I don't necessarily want that. I don't necessarily need that in my training program, okay? So, another thing. Now, a tricep extension, right, is basically, a regular tricep extension is going to basically, that's what I like to do. I like a tricep extension, right, for my triceps. A tricep extension is going to isolate your triceps pretty well, especially depending on how you stand. If you get lower, it's a little bit better, in my opinion. You can isolate it a little bit better, and you basically are using, when I say isolate, you're just using your tricep as much as possible. You're taking the shoulder out of the equation. You're taking a lot out of the equation that takes away from your tricep from working and getting built, breaking down to be built up again. So the exercises, Tony, obviously, is using the exercises that Tonal offers, and they're exercises that the whole world uses. I don't like the overly complicated exercise, because not only is it taking away from the isolation of a certain muscle, it's also causing you to have to complicate your workout. For what? I mean, if you want tricep activation, do a tricep movement. Don't go doing a tricep movement that involves shoulders and involves abs and involves this and involves that. You're just kind of taking away from the point. But it's my opinion. Some people love compound movements. Some people aren't working to get their arms as big as possible, as fast as possible, like I am, right? So you might love it. Nothing against Tonal. Nothing wrong with Tonal as far as that goes. The weight, however, was not on point, and the reps were not on point, in my opinion. Okay? So those are two things that I do find to be an issue where Tonal came into play. The program itself, you might love the program. All right. So, like I said, it depends on the person. Now, it depends on what your goals are. Like I mentioned, my goal might be to get my chest, arms, back, all these things as big as possible and in the smallest amount of time. Okay? So if you were going to do something like that, right? Let's say you went to do Coach Jackson's Go Big or Go Home. If you were to do that, you would be getting that program is insane. I love it. I love that program. it reminded me of P90X a little bit, right? It also reminded me a little bit of the Insanity workout. I've done the Insanity workout in the past, in the way that it's fast-paced, you're doing a lot of reps, and you're getting a good heart pump when you're doing it, right? Now, if your goal was to strictly build muscle, you might not want to do that program. The reason why is you're getting a very kind of like a cardiovascular workout at the same time. Me, what I would prefer to do is weightlifting, weight training, and for the weight loss portion of your goal, right? If you want to build muscle and lose weight, your weight loss portion could be focused more on your nutrition. Lower your calories down so that you're able, because we know cardio is great, but it's going to prevent you in some way, shape, or form, depending on how much you do, it can prevent you from building muscle. And it's difficult to have a cardio program and have a muscle building program run in your life at the same time if you're doing heavy on both. If you're not doing heavy on both, that's different. But it's difficult. So what I prefer is to do a moderate, very low intensity cardio throughout my week, right? I'll walk maybe an hour a day, something like that, walk back and forth to work. That's my cardio, gets my heart going. I'm moving throughout the whole day anyway. I have a physical job at work. And then I eat less calories and I focus heavy with the weight training on the machine, on Tonal, right? Now, with the programs on Tonal, if you don't really know what your goals are, if you don't know what your goals are, you're going to have a hard time getting things in order. You might follow a certain program on here and be like, okay, this is for building muscle, losing weight. But it might be more geared towards the losing weight and you're building muscle less. That is because you need to expand your knowledge. Find out what your goal is. And you might not necessarily want to use a program on here. I got away from the programs on here because I already know what my goals are. And I know how to execute those goals. And the reason why I know what my goals are is because I sat down and I said, what do I want? I want to build muscle, I want to lose weight. And then I found out the best way to do that for me. That is to cut calories and body build as much as possible with the Tonal. So you might want that same thing, but if you're doing a program like maybe Go Big or Go Home or any of the programs on here, it might be more geared to actually losing weight, and therefore you're kind of breaking your muscle down or hindering its growth in a way. The more you know, the smarter you are, the more knowledge you take in, the more you can tailor your program that you make yourself, or the better idea you have of a program to use on Tonal, okay? So that's important. Get the knowledge and take that knowledge with you when you go to the gym or when you go to your weight stack at home or when you go to the Tonal. Okay, Tonal's great, but know how to use the programs. Know how to use them. Know how to find out really, truly what is the best program for you. Because if not, it could be hindering your progress. All right? So the more you know about your own goals, the more knowledge that you take in, the better you are going to be able to do in the gym scene. Whether you're at home with the Tonal, or whether you're at the gym or whatever, in your everyday life. You can now, the more knowledge you have, you can focus on what you want. You can really like dial in on your progress. You now take the reins. You take control of your progress rather than leaving it up to a trainer to do so. Now, some people need trainers. Some people want trainers. Tonal comes with trainers. You're paying $50 a month for trainers. And also for some aspects of this machine, eccentric mode, chains mode, the different modes that it has, you're paying for that as well. Guys, I am not putting Tonal down. I'm not putting you down. If you want a trainer, that's great. I personally, if you guys get the knowledge yourself by utilizing YouTube, by utilizing Google, by learning as you exercise, you won't need the trainers and you won't need the programs unless you want to keep it interesting. which some people do. So, what I'm trying to say is, the more knowledge you have, the better for you. The more growth you're going to see in that particular goal that you have, whether it's losing weight, whether it's building muscle. You'll know whether to use compound movements. You'll know whether to use eccentric mode. You'll know when to use chains mode. You'll know all these different things just by learning. And that's why I'm making these videos, to try to help you guys along with this, okay? So guys, would I recommend this machine for those of you who want trainers? Yeah, I absolutely would. Would I recommend this machine for those of you who want programs? Absolutely. But if you learn what your goals are, you will not need a trainer and you will not need a program. Will you still need this machine? Well, you don't need this machine in the first place. You can have your own home gym. Do I recommend this machine? 100%. 100%. The fact that I don't use the programs does not mean that I don't think this is any less of a marvel when it comes to home gym equipment or gym equipment in general. This is the best. But you're paying $50 a month. $50 a month. And a lot of that is because of the trainers, right? If you want to get away from that $50 a month, which a lot of people have said plagues them, if you want to get away from that $50 a month, I would say gain the knowledge. Learn why you're doing something. Then you can get away from the $50 a month. Keep in mind, you'll lose certain features on this. You'll lose certain modes. And that's why they do that. Unfortunately, that's why Tonal makes you pay for certain modes. Because they know that eventually, the smarter you get, the more you come to know your own body, and the more you come to know your own goals, the less you're going to need their trainers, the less you're going to need their programs. So that's why they build in the $50 a month with the modes that they have on this machine. Because if all of a sudden the modes you didn't have to pay for, you probably, most people I think would drop the $50 a month charge, which I'm one of those people. I would drop the charge. It was fun working out with Tony today, and I think they have a lot to bring to the table. The trainers, the programs, I think they have a lot to bring to the table. And if you're looking for a good program and you're looking for a good trainer, you have them on here. Trust me, I'm not putting Tonal down. What I am saying is, though, know your goals, know why you're doing what you're doing, and you will not only be able to get away from that maybe $50 a month charge, but you'll be able to make your goals happen faster simply by knowing why you're doing something and knowing what to do. At the end of the workouts, Tonal asks for your feedback, and every single time they ask me for feedback after you do a program, I always give it. So a lot of people, like my wife, for example, she'll bypass this step completely. Guys, don't bypass this step. This is an important way for Tonal to find out where they can improve. So I'm going to give you an example. Tony Horton is an awesome dude. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic. I just wanted to point out those 3 stars have nothing to do with his instruction, which is why I didn't click on, when Tonal asks, what can we improve on? I did not click on instruction because Tony Horton is fantastic. He explained everything. He had super, super energy. Fantastic. Very motivational. Loved his pacing. The reason why I am putting weight suggestions, movements, and intensity is simply because the weight suggestions, in my opinion, were way too low for me personally. And I could always up that weight, but at the same time, the beauty of Tonal is it's supposed to read your muscles and give you a weight that it feels is appropriate. I don't feel like it did a great job with this particular program for some reason. I don't know why. Normally, it's fine. The movements, I feel were overly complicated. Now, this is a personal opinion on me. I like more simple movements because I feel like more simple movements, they isolate the muscle that you actually want to work out rather than incorporate other muscles into that movement, which actually end up taking away from the primary muscle that you're trying to exercise. And the intensity. The intensity, I don't feel was all that great because the weight suggestion was too low. I had to do way more reps than I needed to if I were to have used a higher weight to reach hypertrophy, which means that I was kind of just, I don't know, spinning the wheels a lot of the time, which wasted a little time. I didn't really feel like it was the best experience. But that's not because of Tony Horton, and that's not necessarily because of the program itself. I think the weight suggestions had a large part to do with the fact that I didn't really enjoy too much. But again, the movements did also. So overall, it was a decent workout. Overall, I liked it. But now, honestly, I'm getting off of Tonal, and I'm going back to my own program now to do my own workouts. So was this kind of a weight? It was kind of a warm-up. It was kind of a warm-up. I hate to say it, but it was kind of a warm-up. So that's why I'm adding this. And if I wanted to go more in depth, I can click Other. And in the box, it is going to ask you for more information. But as you can see, we don't have swipe texting on this. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's the reason why I am not going to be adding comments. Typically, I add comments. I'll write a paragraph because I want Tonal to know what my suggestions are. But you know what? Tonal, if they watch this video, they're going to see what my suggestions are. And if they appreciate those suggestions, they're going to go ahead and go along with those suggestions. So because I don't have swipe texting here, because I don't have a microphone option to be able to talk to this machine and have it write down in a simple way what I want to say, I'm just going to skip it because I got to get to my day. I got to get to my own workout now so that I can have my muscles get to hypertrophy, so I can burn out, so I can start building some real solid muscle. All right, guys. So this, I don't know where I'm going to include this clip in the video that I am going to be making. But either way, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you back in the video, or I'll see you next time. Take care. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope this video was helpful. Take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.